If you're over the age of 60 and taking supplements daily to support your heart, joints, brain, or energy, you're not alone. Millions of older adults do the same. It feels like the smart thing to do, especially since aging bodies absorb fewer nutrients from food. But here's the alarming truth no one is talking about. Some of the most common supplement combinations seniors take every day, combinations that seem harmless or even beneficial, can silently cause nerve damage, internal bleeding, and even heart failure over time. As a physician who has worked with seniors for over 3 decades, I've seen this firsthand in my clinic. Patients come in with fatigue, brain fog, numbness in their feet, or worsening heart rhythms. Often the cause isn't aging. It's something they picked up from the pharmacy aisle. Vitamins and minerals they believed were helping them stay healthy, but when combined incorrectly, were slowly working against them. That's why I'm here today, to help you understand which supplement combinations to avoid, why they're risky, and what safer alternatives you can use instead. This is not about fear, it's about facts. Every combination I share with you is backed by peer-reviewed research, clinical data, and real-world patient experience. And by the end of this video, you'll have the confidence to review your supplement routine and protect your health with clarity and science on your side. Let's begin with one of the most common mistakes I see, especially in older adults trying to boost energy or brain function. That's combining a full-spectrum B complex with an additional vitamin B6 supplement. On paper, it might seem harmless. Vitamin B6 is water-soluble, which means your body doesn't store it like it does with fat-soluble vitamins such as A or D. So the logic goes, if you take too much, you just pee out the excess. But here's the catch, and it's a dangerous one. Long-term use of high-dose vitamin B6 can lead to a painful and sometimes permanent condition known as sensory neuropathy. That's right, nerve damage. It usually starts with numbness or burning in the feet and hands, and over time can progress to serious balance issues, foot drop, and even weakness in the legs. I once had a patient, Alan, 68 years old, who came to me convinced he was developing peripheral neuropathy from diabetes. But his blood sugar was normal. After reviewing his supplements, we discovered he was taking a B complex with 50 milligrams of B6, plus an additional B6 supplement at 150 milligrams. He had no idea he was taking 200 milligrams daily, enough to cause damage, especially in someone his age with a slower metabolism. We stopped the supplements, and while some sensation returned, the damage was partially permanent. The National Institutes of Health confirms that even doses as low as 100 milligrams per day taken over months can cause neuropathy in susceptible individuals. And most B complex supplements already contain 10 to 50 milligrams of B6. Add a multivitamin or energy booster on top, and you could be well over the safe limit without even realizing it. Let's move to number 2. Another combination that may seem logical at first glance but can quietly harm your organs over time. Taking iron supplements alongside high-dose vitamin C. This pairing is often encouraged because vitamin C enhances the absorption of iron, particularly non-heme iron found in plant sources. That's useful in younger adults with iron deficiency anemia. But in seniors, it's a completely different story. After 60, the body's ability to regulate excess iron weakens. Unlike nutrients like potassium or B vitamins, the body has no efficient way to excrete surplus iron. So it gets stored in your liver, your heart, and your pancreas, where it generates oxidative stress and damages healthy tissue. High-dose vitamin C, especially from potent sources like acerola cherry or amla, can supercharge iron absorption to dangerous levels. I've seen patients come in with unexplained joint pain, fatigue, and even early signs of insulin resistance. In many cases, their ferritin levels, an indicator of stored iron, were off the charts. These patients weren't anemic. They were overloaded. Excess iron has been linked to higher rates of liver disease, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. In men and postmenopausal women, where monthly blood loss no longer regulates iron naturally, supplementing iron without clear deficiency is risky business. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has warned about this repeatedly, yet iron supplements continue to be sold over the counter, often combined with vitamin C in immune boosters or energy tonics. So here's my clinical advice. Never take iron unless your doctor has tested your levels and confirmed that you are deficient. And if you do need iron, take it in a form and dose that's tailored to your specific needs, without blindly enhancing its absorption with megadoses of vitamin C. Let's move to number 3, where we dive into a surprisingly common, but often misunderstood mineral interaction, the combination of zinc and copper. Both are essential, both play vital roles in immune health and cellular repair, but when taken together in the wrong balance, they become antagonists. And for seniors, that imbalance can lead to serious, even irreversible consequences. Here's the issue. Zinc and copper share the same absorption pathway in your small intestine. Think of it like two cars trying to merge into the same single-lane tunnel. When one dominates, especially zinc, it effectively blocks the other. And since zinc is more aggressive in this process, high doses can suppress copper absorption for weeks or months at a time. You might ask, what's the big deal about copper? Copper is a trace mineral involved in red blood cell production, collagen formation, nervous system function, and even iron metabolism. When your copper levels fall too low, you might develop anemia that doesn't respond to iron, bone fragility, a weakened immune system, SMART, or worse, neurological problems that mimic B12 deficiency. I've had patients who experience numbness in their hands and feet, difficulty walking, and fatigue that no amount of rest could fix, only to find they had copper deficiency caused by long-term zinc supplementation. One memorable case was Frank, a retired firefighter in his 70s. He had been taking 50 milligrams of zinc daily for immune support during flu season. He also unknowingly bought a multivitamin that added another 15 milligrams of zinc but contained no copper. Within 6 months, he began developing tremors and numbness in his legs. After ruling out other causes, blood tests revealed severely low copper levels. With careful rebalancing and copper repletion, we saw gradual improvement, but some nerve symptoms lingered. This isn't rare. A study published in Blood, the Journal of the American Society of Hematology, found that copper deficiency caused by excessive zinc intake could lead to neurological symptoms indistinguishable from spinal cord damage seen in B12 deficiency. Worse, the damage isn't always reversible if it's not caught early. So what's the safe way forward? If you're supplementing with zinc, especially doses above 25 milligrams per day, make sure you're also getting copper, but don't take them at the same time. Space them out by several hours. Morning for zinc, evening for copper, and always aim for a healthy ratio, somewhere around 10 to 15 milligrams of zinc for every 1 milligrams of copper. Let's move to number 4, where we explore a serious but often overlooked danger, combining high-dose niacin, also known as vitamin B3, with statin medications commonly prescribed to lower cholesterol. This combination, while sometimes used intentionally under medical supervision, can pose real threats to seniors when taken without proper guidance. Niacin isn't just a regular B vitamin. In high doses, it's been used therapeutically to lower LDL cholesterol and triglycerides and to raise HDL, the so-called good cholesterol. That might sound like a win-win, natural support for cardiovascular health. But here's where things get risky. Niacin and statins both place a significant metabolic burden on the liver, and when used together, especially without monitoring, they can amplify each other's side effects, increasing the risk of liver toxicity, muscle breakdown, and even kidney damage. One of the most dangerous outcomes is a condition known as rhabdomyolysis, where muscle tissue breaks down and releases a protein called myoglobin into the bloodstream. This can overload the kidneys and lead to acute renal failure. Seniors are particularly vulnerable because muscle mass naturally declines with age, making the body less resilient to this kind of stress. The symptoms, unusual muscle pain, dark urine, weakness, often go ignored until the damage is advanced. There's also the issue of liver enzyme elevation. Both niacin and statins are metabolized in the liver, and together, they can push the organ's detox pathways into overload. I recall a patient named Margaret, 72, who had been prescribed a statin and independently began taking flush-free niacin after reading online that it could boost her HDL. Within weeks, her energy plummeted, her skin became itchy, and routine labs showed her liver enzymes were more than double the normal range. We caught it in time, stopped the niacin, and fortunately, her liver function returned to baseline. This isn't just anecdotal. A major study published in the New England Journal of Medicine concluded that combining extended-release niacin with statins did not significantly improve cardiovascular outcomes, but did increase the risk of serious adverse effects, including infections, diabetes complications, and liver toxicity. That's why, in recent years, many cardiologists have pulled back from recommending niacin unless there's a very specific need. So what's the bottom line? Niacin can be helpful, but only in low doses or food-based forms, and only under supervision if you're already taking cholesterol medications. Seniors should be especially cautious with flush-free or slow-release niacin supplements, which are often marketed as safer, but can actually be harder on the liver. Always speak with your physician before combining heart medications with any high-dose supplement. Let's move to number 5, where we examine a pair of supplements that are often praised individually for their health benefits but can become dangerously synergistic when combined: fish oil and ginkgo biloba. Both are popular among seniors for very good reasons. Fish oil, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, supports heart health and reduces inflammation. Ginkgo biloba, derived from the ancient ginkgo tree, is known to enhance blood flow to the brain and may help with memory and cognitive clarity. But here's the hidden danger. Both of these supplements have blood-thinning properties, and when taken together, especially if you're already on aspirin, warfarin, or other anticoagulants, they can drastically increase your risk of bleeding. You see, omega-3s like EPA and DHA in fish oil inhibit platelet aggregation. That means they make your blood cells less likely to clump together and form clots, a good thing when preventing heart attacks, but a dangerous thing when the balance tips too far. Ginkgo biloba has a similar effect. It increases circulation by widening blood vessels and also interferes with platelet activating factor, a natural substance in your body that helps initiate clotting when you get injured. Now combine the two, and you get a potent anti-clotting cocktail, especially concerning for seniors who already have slower healing, more fragile capillaries, and often take medications that further thin the blood. I've seen patients develop spontaneous bruising, prolonged bleeding after dental work, and in rare but serious cases, even gastrointestinal bleeding or small vessel hemorrhages in the brain. I'll never forget Carl, a 76-year-old retired teacher who came in after noticing blood in his stool. He wasn't on any prescription blood thinners, but he was taking a high-strength omega-3 capsule along with 240 milligrams of ginkgo biloba daily for memory support. His colonoscopy came back clean, no ulcers, no polyps. It turned out that the combination of supplements had thinned his blood just enough to cause microtears in the intestinal lining. Once we discontinued ginkgo and reduced his fish oil dose, the bleeding stopped completely. Scientific literature supports this caution. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that combining ginkgo with other anticoagulant or antiplatelet agents significantly increased the risk of bleeding events in older adults. And while fish oil alone is generally safe in moderate doses, its effects become unpredictable when stacked with other blood-modifying compounds. So what's the safe approach? If you're already taking fish oil and your goal is heart or joint support, avoid adding ginkgo without speaking to your physician, especially if you're on blood thinners. And if you are using ginkgo for memory, consider alternative brain-boosting strategies like B vitamins, moderate exercise, and better sleep, all of which carry far less risk. Let's move to number 6, where we address a mineral pairing that's not just common, but commonly misunderstood. Calcium and magnesium are both essential nutrients. They're vital for bone strength, nerve function, muscle contraction, and heart health. So it's no surprise that many seniors take them together in the form of a combined supplement. But what most people don't realize is that taking calcium and magnesium at the same time, particularly in high doses, can lead to absorption issues and potentially dangerous imbalances. Calcium and magnesium actually compete for absorption in the small intestine. When taken simultaneously, especially in a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio, favoring calcium, as is the case in many over-the-counter supplements, magnesium absorption gets blocked. And here's why that matters. Magnesium is the quiet regulator behind hundreds of biological processes, including the rhythm of your heart, the relaxation of your muscles, and even your ability to fall asleep at night. As we age, magnesium deficiency becomes more common due to reduced dietary intake, medication interactions, and impaired gastrointestinal absorption. I've seen many seniors unknowingly suffer from low magnesium levels because they were taking calcium daily for their bones, not realizing it was suppressing their magnesium uptake. Symptoms can be subtle at first: restless legs, mild fatigue, occasional heart palpitations. But over time, more serious problems can emerge. Muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, even spikes in blood pressure that are mistakenly blamed on aging or stress. Take, for example, my patient, Elaine, 71, who began experiencing nighttime leg cramps and fluttering in her chest. She was concerned about heart problems. But after reviewing her supplement list, I noticed she was taking a 1,200 milligrams calcium supplement with only 200 milligrams of magnesium, and both were taken together at breakfast. We separated the doses and slightly increased her magnesium. Within 2 weeks, the cramps stopped and her heart rhythm stabilized. The solution is not to avoid calcium or magnesium, it's to space them out. Calcium is best absorbed with meals, while magnesium can be taken in the evening, often improving sleep in the process. You also want to make sure your magnesium dosage is adequate, often 300 to 400 milligrams daily for older adults, though this may vary based on individual health needs. It's also important to note that many seniors don't even need supplemental calcium if they're getting enough from their diet. Leafy greens, dairy, almonds, sardines, these are all excellent sources. And when you balance calcium intake with sufficient magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2, your body is better able to direct calcium to where it belongs, your bones, not your arteries. Let's move to number 7. Perhaps the most misunderstood and potentially dangerous combination on this list: vitamin D and calcium. Especially when taken together in high doses without appropriate balance from other nutrients. Both are crucial for bone health, which is why they're frequently recommended for seniors, particularly postmenopausal women and those at risk for osteoporosis. But here's the problem. When calcium and vitamin D are taken in excess and without key cofactors like vitamin K2 or magnesium, they can cause calcium to accumulate where it doesn't belong, in your arteries, kidneys, joints, and soft tissues. Let's break this down. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption from the gut. That's its job. It pulls more calcium from your diet into your bloodstream. On its own, that sounds beneficial. But calcium can't navigate to your bones on its own. It needs guidance. That guidance comes from vitamin K2, a nutrient that tells calcium where to go, pushing it into bones and teeth, and keeping it out of arteries and soft tissue. Without vitamin K2, the extra calcium in your bloodstream can settle into your vascular system, stiffening blood vessels and increasing the risk of arterial calcification and heart disease. I've seen this go wrong many times. One case that still haunts me is James, age 75, who was prescribed high-dose vitamin D and calcium by a well-meaning provider after a bone density scan showed early osteopenia. But no one addressed vitamin K2 or checked his magnesium levels. Within 8 months, he developed kidney stones and began experiencing chest tightness and shortness of breath. A coronary calcium scan later revealed early arterial calcification, an issue we might have prevented with more targeted supplementation. A large-scale review published in the BMJ, British Medical Journal, confirmed that calcium supplements, particularly when combined with vitamin D but without K2, are associated with a modest but significant increase in cardiovascular risk among older adults. That risk increases in those already prone to high blood pressure or vascular disease. So how do we do this safely? First, avoid megadoses unless prescribed and monitored. Most older adults benefit from 800 to 2000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, ideally combined with 90 to 180 micrograms of vitamin K2, specifically MK7, the most effective form for arterial protection. Calcium should ideally come from dietary sources like leafy greens, dairy, almonds, or sardines unless you have a documented deficiency. If supplementation is needed, keep it modest. 500 to 600 milligrams at most, split across the day, and never without magnesium. Magnesium, again, is the unsung hero. It plays a crucial role in regulating calcium transport. Without enough magnesium, calcium becomes erratic in the body. That's why I always advise my patients, don't think in silos. Vitamins and minerals work in systems, not in isolation. And that brings us to an important closing insight. Just because something is natural, over-the-counter, or labeled as doctor recommended, doesn't mean it's safe, especially in combination. Supplements can support health powerfully when used wisely, but they can also do real harm when used carelessly or excessively. For seniors, who often manage multiple medications and age-related conditions, the margin for error is smaller. As we've seen, there are 7 combinations, each one seemingly harmless on the surface, that can quietly undermine your health over time. But knowledge changes everything. Now that you know what to look for, what to avoid, and how to supplement more safely, you've already taken a major step toward protecting your body from preventable harm. If this video opened your eyes to supplement combinations you should avoid, take a moment to protect not just your health, but someone else's. Click the like button if you found this information valuable and share it with friends or family who also take daily supplements. Have you experienced side effects from combining vitamins or minerals? We'd love to hear your story. Leave a comment below. And if you want more expert-backed, senior-focused health advice, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. At Be Healthy Seniors, we bring you science-based guidance, real doctor insights, and practical tips to help you stay strong, sharp, and safe every single day. Your health journey matters, and it starts with knowing what helps and what harms. Let's walk that path together. See you in the next video.